Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another new edition of Africa Today, where we get you the latest news and events taking place on the African scene. And we start off with our major reports. Sudan's military leaders and opposition alliance have formed a sovereign council to lead the country during its 3-year transition to civilian rule. Made up of 6 civilians and 5 military officers, it will initially be led by Lieutenant General Abdel Fattah Abdurrahman Burhan. More in the following report.
Military Council (TMC) on Tuesday approved the formation of a joint sovereign council of 11 members. The TMC chairman issued a constitutional decree forming the sovereign council under the chairmanship of Lieutenant General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan. By taking constitutional oath on Wednesday morning before the Chief of Justice, while the members of the council taking the oath in front of the chairman, the power-sharing council starts work. A prime minister is expected to be sworn in later in the day. Sudan's ruling military council and civilian opposition alliance signed the power-sharing deal at the weekend in a ceremony which was attended by African figures. The agreement included the setting up of the sovereign council and the rotation of its chairmanship of the council for just over 3 years. It is designed to pave the way towards elections and civilian rule.
Italian prosecutors have ordered that 83 migrants on board a charity vessel that has been anchored off the island of Lampedusa for 19 days may be immediately disembarked, citing the explosive psychological and medical condition of the passengers. Details follow.
An Italian prosecutor has ordered the seizure of the open-arms migrant ship and the evacuation of the migrants on board on the island of Lampedusa. Italian media reported the move as it is thought some 100 migrants were left on board the Spanish rescue ship. Italy had refused to allow them to leave the ship for nearly 3 weeks, though dozens of children and the sick had been taken ashore. Earlier, about 10 migrants jumped off the ship hoping to swim to the island. The swimmers were picked up by the Italian Coast Guard from Lampedusa. The prosecutor ordered the vessel be preventatively seized after inspecting the boat on Tuesday afternoon, given the difficult situation on board. The founder of the Open Arms charity which owns the ship welcomed the decision. Far-right Interior Minister Matteo Salvini has taken a hard line on migration, closing Lampedusa to migrant rescue ships.
Welcome back, and to shed more light on the latest developments in Sudan, we're joined over the phone by Dr. Salah Abdallah, political analyst. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, welcome.
Dr. Abdallah, how would you describe the step in Sudan on Wednesday, taking oath of the Sovereign Council?
Well, of course, it's a great day for Sudan today because this agreement means that Sudan starts the first step towards stability after the revolution against former President Bashir's system. Now the Sudan will start to have a system. The new council will accept a new civilian government and will start, of course, to rebuild the Sudan political system again. Number one, there is many challenges for the coming period. The first challenge will be that the military groups must share in the political life and stop using the arms and stop fighting. And this will need a great negotiation between the new council and these military groups, which is 3 main groups. Of course, the success in including these military groups within the political system will be a great success. Secondly, of course, there is an economic challenges because of the corruption which happened during Bashir's era, affects the Sudan economy. That's why, of course, the new council and the new ministry, which will be formed within the coming few days, will have the priority of rebuilding the economy and stopping fighting the corruption, and there will be many economic decisions to rebuild the Sudan economy. Of course,
go ahead, sir.
Yes?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
What you say? I don't hear you.
Well, I just wanted to ask how do you think would be the priorities of the new council if we put the tasks in priority?
The voice is not clear. The voice is not clear.
Right. I will repeat my question, sir. What do you think on the priorities list should be the first task of the new council?
Of course, the first target will be accepting the new civilian government. This is number one. So the new government will start to work in the different periods or in the different systems in Sudan. And of course, the new prime minister is the name of the new prime minister now is known, so the new council will accept that name. After the new ministry will be to enter into negotiation with the military groups. There is 3 main military groups which is causing a great problem in Sudan. Negotiation with these groups is very important to attract these groups to the political life and stop the war in Sudan. Number 3, the economic situation. The economic situation in Sudan is very critical. So there will be an economic measure to rebuild the economy in Sudan.
Right. Well, sir, how would you describe the current moves in the economic field in Sudan?
Of course, number one, they will try to remove the name of Sudan from the economic punishment which was happened during the period of Bashir. So the international economic groups can have a relation with Sudan. Number 2, the Sudanese pound currency is very low, and this is needs many strict economic measures to rebuild to regain the power of the Sudanese pound. Number three, the relation with South Sudan, because the oil is usually passed from South Sudan through North Sudan, and this is very important because it is a great income to the North Sudan. And number 4, fighting the corruption. There was a great corruption in Sudan during the period of Bashir. So fighting the corruption in Sudan is very important.
Right, sir. What are your expectations for the most important development that should take in Sudan during the transitional period?
Can I hear the question again?
Right, sir. What are your expectations for the most important developments that should be taking place in Sudan during the upcoming transitional period?
According to what I understand from your question, because the voice is not clear, that what is the important steps during this transition period? This is the question?
Yes, sir. The most important developments that should be taking in place in Sudan during the transitional period, the upcoming period.
Yes. You know, the transition period is 3 years. It's 3 years. So, during these 3 years, Number one, there will be a new ministry. This is the first step. The second step, as I said, the negotiation with the military groups to include them within the political life. And this is very important. Number three, to solve any problems which happen. You know, in the coming days, there will be some difficulties, of course, in the life, because there is many political groups sharing in the transition period, and this, of course, make many challenges. So solving the problems which will happen in the few coming days is very important to pass the period. But I want to tell you something. The Sudanese are experienced in this matter. This is not the first time where there is a revolution and transition period and transition, and then the military will give the power to the civilian. This is the fourth time. The first time was during President Afud area, and there was a second time after Numeri, and then it happened that the Muslim Brotherhood have a military coup with Bashir against the civilian, and this is the fourth time now that there is a revolution and there is a transition period and changing the power from military to civilian. So this is, the Sudanese are accustomed for that, and they have the experience to practice that kind of difficulties and to solve the problems.
Right. Dr. Abdullah, what are the guarantees of the timely and accurate implementation of the power sharing deal?
Please, I don't hear the voice. Try again.
Sir, what are the guarantees for the timely and accurate implementation of the power sharing deal?
You asked me about the time for period for each?
Yes, sir.
Of course, the president, I think Mr. Bohan will be for 21 months. Then after that, another civilian member from the new council will be the rest of the period. Of course, during that time, the council is containing members, military members and civilian members, and the head of the council is the chief of army, General Burhan. I think they now in agreement, and both sides they have a good negotiation, and they succeed in reach the level of this new council, which you can consider it a kind of agreement between the military and the civilian, and this will be a great success for the political life in Sudan.
Right. Well, sir, what African parties would you describe as influential on the Sudanese stage currently?
Please, the question again.
Sir, what African parties would you describe as influential on the Sudanese stage? What are the most influential parties currently?
According to what I understand, that you are asking about the influence of the African on Sudan. Is this the question?
Right. Well, sir, I think we're having a technical difficulty with the voice. Thank you very much, Dr. Sarah Abdullah, our political analyst. Many thanks for joining us. And moving on to our next report, in Madagascar, authorities are shipping cattle to ensure they will not be stolen. The ship was developed by a technology company, and 10,000 electronic chips are due to be inserted in cattle over the next 3 months. Details follow.
In the central part of Madagascar, authorities are chipping cattle in order to restore security. This follows a campaign promised by President Andry Rajoelina, who assumed office this year. The town of Tsero Anoman-Diri is known for its zebu. It is a type of cattle with large hump on its back. A veterinarian with the program says that inside the capsule dose there are chips to identify the zebu, the same ones used for phones, and are also geolocalizable. The veterinarian says the capsule is pushed inside the mouth of the animal, then goes inside the stomach of the animal and stays there until its death. The chip was developed by a technology company, and 10,000 electronic chips are due to be inserted in cattle over the next 3 months. The manager in charge of communication and marketing at the technology company says when it is stolen, they can find the location of the zebu thanks to the software. The device works for 7 years, which is the average lifespan of zebu. The government hopes to insert 500,000 of those chips to track 2.5 million heads of cattle. Cattle theft is a national plague in Madagascar, with 30,000 animals stolen in 2017. According to police and farmers, security forces often get killed in clashes with thieves.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That wraps up this edition of Africa Today. Many thanks for watching and stay tuned for more coming up here on Nile TV International.